Elvis Presley cheated on his wife Priscilla for years. Then she fell for somebody else, her karate instructor, a man named Mike Stone. And by several accounts, including Priscilla's own, Elvis became so fixated on this man that he started talking about having him killed. The idea got dropped, but he said it, and he said it more than once. Elvis had broken the same rule himself, many times. So why was it unbearable when she did it? The easy answer is hypocrisy. One set of rules for him, another set for her. That answer is probably true, but it is also very small. Psychologists have tested this, and what they found is stranger than mere hypocrisy. Your own cheating can quietly change what you see when you look at the person beside you. Angela Neal and Edward Lemay, social psychologists at the University of South Carolina, Lancaster, and the University of Maryland, followed 96 straight couples for a week. Every day, they asked people one question about themselves. How attracted were you to somebody outside this relationship today? Then they asked a second question. How attracted do you think your partner was? The more a person's own eye wandered, the more certain they became that their partner's eye was wandering too. Their own temptation predicted what they thought their partner felt better than the partner's real answer did. And on the days they believed it, they got angry. They treated their partner worse. So the accusation was coming from inside the accuser, and it had almost nothing to do with the partner. Here's why that works. You know what it means when you look at somebody for half a second too long. Hold on to that half second. It comes back at the end of this video. You have done it, so you know it is not nothing. Which means when your partner does it, you cannot make it nothing either. You know what "she's just a friend" can be covering, because you have used that sentence yourself. So when your partner says, "he's just a friend," you hear a second meaning that a faithful person never hears. And this does not only happen with cheating. In 1998, psychologists Brad Sagarin, Kelton Rhodes, and Robert Cialdini set up an experiment at Arizona State University. They got some of their participants to tell a lie to another person. Then they asked those liars what they thought of the person they had just lied to. The liars rated that person as less honest. They called it deceiver's distrust. Think about how backwards that is. You do the lying and you come away trusting them less, but your brain has just watched somebody lie convincingly and get away with it. That somebody is you. So the lesson it stores is that people lie, and you cannot always tell. Which brings us back to Elvis. Maybe he was not holding two sets of rules at all. Maybe his own behavior had quietly rebuilt the world around him so that the trail looked possible in every room he walked into. So cheaters are more suspicious. Fine. But are they actually more jealous? Somebody tested that directly, and the answer split into pieces. Abraham Bunk at the University of Groningen and Ana Maria Fernandez at the University of Santiago de Chile gave their study a title that does most of the work: "Don't Cheat Like I Did." They surveyed 138 adults in Santiago. Nearly half of them admitted they had been unfaithful at some point. Then they did the important thing. They refused to treat jealousy as one emotion. Reactive jealousy is the honest kind. Your partner actually does something, and it hurts. Anxious jealousy runs with no evidence at all. You lie there at 2 a.m. playing scenes in your head. And possessive jealousy is the one that does something. Who are you texting? Why are you going? Who else is going to be there? Why do you need to talk to him? The people who had cheated scored no higher on reactive jealousy and no higher on anxious jealousy. Only one of the three moved. Possessive jealousy, the kind aimed at cutting down the partner's opportunities. So the finding is narrower and colder than cheaters are jealous. In this study, cheaters wanted control, which raises a better question. Why would cheating fit so neatly with the version of jealousy that reaches for control? Projection covers part of it, but something more practical may be going on. And I want to flag that this next part is my guess rather than a finding. No study I know of has tested it. Cheating teaches you what betrayal actually looks like from the inside. An affair does not announce itself. It looks like a coworker, a message, a joke that lands slightly too well, working late twice in 1 week, a phone turned face down on the table, a friendship that changes temperature so slowly that nobody ever has to admit it changed. A faithful partner hears an innocent excuse and files it as innocent. Somebody who has used that excuse hears a possibility. Except there is a hole in all of this. What if the cheating did not create any of it? What if the jealousy was already there, and both of them were growing out of the same root? A team led by Nasrin Ghiassi at Elam University of Medical Sciences, working with colleagues in Iran and Sweden, pooled 17 studies covering 13,666 people. The effect they found was modest, and it was consistent. Higher attachment anxiety and higher attachment avoidance both came with more infidelity. In plain language, people who are frightened of being abandoned cheat more, and so do people who keep everybody at arm's length. Now put jealousy beside that. Marina Richter at Witten-Herdecka University, with 3 colleagues at the University of Bern, studied 847 people and looked at personality, attachment, and jealousy together. Higher attachment anxiety came with more romantic jealousy. Same root, 2 branches. Somebody is terrified of being replaced. That fear makes them watch their partner. And the same fear makes attention from a stranger feel like medicine because it proves they are still wanted. So they cheat to feel wanted, and they get jealous because they cannot afford to stop feeling wanted. The contradiction starts dissolving. John Lennon wrote a song called Jealous Guy. Years later, he said the title was literal and that it was about him. In a 1980 interview posted on his official site, he described his younger self as jealous, possessive, and insecure. He was describing his own machinery from the inside. And his first marriage, to Cynthia, was breaking down while his relationship with Yoko Ono was beginning. Elvis gives us the contradiction. Lennon names what may be sitting underneath it. You probably know somebody like this. The person who could flirt with anyone in the room and would lose their mind if their partner laughed too hard at somebody else's joke. The person who kept their own phone face down and wanted to scroll through yours. Or it happened to you. Somebody accused you for months, and then you found out what they were hiding the whole time. Tell me in the comments which one it was, because insecurity cannot explain all of them. Some cheaters are not frightened of anything. Dylan Selterman, then at the University of Maryland, with Justin Garcia of the Kinsey Institute and Irene Sapelis of Stony Brook, surveyed 495 people who had been unfaithful and asked them why. The reasons refused to cluster. Anger, feeling neglected, falling out of love, low commitment, wanting variety, wanting a boost to self-esteem, and plain circumstance, like being drunk and not thinking straight. There is no single animal called the cheater. 2 people can do the identical thing for reasons that have nothing to do with each other, which means their jealousy is coming from different places too. For one of them, jealousy means, please do not leave me. For another, it means, I get to do this and you do not. The second one runs on a rule book. My flirting is friendly. Yours is disrespectful. My phone is private. Yours should be open. I cheated because I was unhappy. If you cheated, it would prove you never loved me. Listen to somebody long enough, and you can hear which rule book they are reading from. And the question stops being, how bad do they feel? It becomes, what do they believe they are allowed to control? One more piece explains the part that confuses people most. How does somebody cheat and then fight to keep the person they cheated on? Psychologists call it mate retention. In 2024, Stephen Arnacki and colleagues at Nipissing University and Lakehead University took 222 people in committed relationships and had some of them imagine their partner being unfaithful. The rest got a harmless scenario. The imagined threat raised their jealousy, and the jealousy predicted how hard they intended to hold on. Some of that holding on was generous. Some of it was what the researchers call cost-inflicting, which is a polite way of saying they make leaving expensive. So jealousy behaves like an alarm, and the alarm only has one question. Am I about to lose something I want to keep? It never asks whether you deserved to keep it. Cheating asks, do I want somebody else? Jealousy asks, can I survive my partner wanting somebody else? Nothing says those 2 answers have to match. One correction before the end, because it matters. None of this proves that cheating makes people jealous. Every study here found things sitting next to each other. Bunk and Fernandez found infidelity beside possessive jealousy, and either one could have come first. The attachment research suggests something older than both may be feeding the pair. What we are left with is a group of people who look identical from the outside and are running on completely different engines. The projector, who is tempted and assumes you must be too. The experienced one, who knows exactly how quietly this starts. The frightened one, who is really asking you not to replace them. The entitled one, who wrote 2 sets of rules and only reads you, the second one. And the possessive one, who wants somebody else and still needs you exactly where you are. Which brings back that half second. The accusations feel so strange when you are the one being accused, because the person accusing you is not confused about how betrayal works. They may understand it better than you do. They have seen it from the inside. They were standing in it. So when they watch you look at somebody for half a second too long, they are not imagining what it might mean. They are remembering.